my car. We gotta push you out. You're high centered. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Daily Driven Exotics. Now, on this episode, I want to talk about a few things. Events, some of the great people I've met in my previous rally I just did, snowball rally, as well as some of the new camera gear that I'm using that I haven't really spoken about. But first and foremost, who wants to get into the passenger seat of the supercharged 800 horsepower DD Tire Slayer? That's right, the Lamborghini Huracan will be going to some special events where I would like to put you guys into the passenger seat for a ride. I don't know if that interests any of you, but let me know in the comments below if anybody wants to go for a ride. All that would be required is you be a subscriber, you go to my website, subscribe to my website as well. We will send out a newsletter that basically gives you guys a specific location, and if that location's within an area that you can get to, totally free. You can go and register on Eventbrite. We set this all up. Just like last year I did what we called secret meet and greet locations. And all you had to do is be a subscriber of the channel, be a subscriber on our newsletter, and we were letting you know of a city that we were gonna be at. And if that worked for you, the first 100 people that could go and totally register for free at Eventbrite would get a specific address sent to them that said, be here at this time at this place. And I showed up with the 458 last year, and you got to take pictures with the car, sit in the car, even let some people rev the car, and it seemed to be a big hit. So this year I wanted to elevate it to a next levels type of situation, which is taking people for rides. And that's right, not just any regular old ride around the block. We're talking about like sideways, tire slaying, drifting, burnout. Probably have some obstacles or some barrels or some cones that we can drift around, figure eights, do the high speed 180, 360 maybe even, and have a bunch of fun. And that's what I want to do with Daily Driven Exotics, is really share the car lifestyle and experience with my fans and loyal subscribers. So that is the big thing that I wanted to announce today. We will be releasing locations and dates very soon on dailydrivenexotics.com. So make sure you go and subscribe to that. Put in your most used email address. Typically the one that you use for Facebook or something works best. Other things on my list are the Ferrari 458 GT. We all know that it got auctioned off. Someone won the bid. I actually am friends with this person, and this car is gonna go from currently at its state in Southern California. It's gonna get shipped across over to Florida, and it's gonna go to this gentleman's shop. Now, the question is part it out or rebuild it for a street car? I already know what most of you guys are gonna say. Rebuild the car and keep hooning it. And you know what? I'd love to do that. However, there's a significant amount of damage. It really needs to be assessed and reviewed to see what the real costs are to repair this car. The insurance company estimated it in the $200,000 range. I think they were way out of the ballpark. I've had lots of people tell me it's between $40,000 and $50,000 to repair this car, including all the labor. So we're just gonna have to see what really comes of this. Now, the good news is I have access to the car when it lands in Florida to go and film the car and do some fun stuff with the car, even if it's not rebuildable. Now you're probably going, well, what do you mean film some stuff with the car? I mean, the car's sitting there. Don't forget, it's front end damage. The car still runs. So I have some really wild and wacky video ideas, and I'm not gonna say anything more than that, but I have some really nuts ideas on what I could do with the car, and the owner's totally down. So you guys, I'm telling you, this is gonna be a green light in the next probably month. where I'm gonna shoot some seriously epic video footage with the car. I'll give you another hint, in its current state. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So, how about this? This is a question that's been on my mind since the incident with the 458 and then trying to pick a new car and picking the Huracan. Did I pick the right car? Is the Lamborghini Huracan, the 580-2, is it the best car for my needs? It's been a question that's gone around in my head, and I've always been battling with, were there other better solutions? And you know what? I really came down to this. I wanted a car that I could slide around, that I could do donuts with and hoon and play with and do all those things. It needed to be within a certain price range, and it needed to be most of all reliable, which is a really tough combination of things to get in a supercar. I mean, even in a lot of normal cars. So I wanted a car that could take a beating and not fall apart and not cost me a whole bunch of money, but also look really sharp and also be a lot of fun to play with. And you know what, at the end of the day, I think all my concerns have been put to bed. Yes, it's not the most unique car because there are a lot of other YouTubers that have Huracans. I mean, the Huracan's a really popular car for the fact that it looks a lot like an Aventador now, whereas the Gallardo and the Mercy were just so different looking. But the Huracan versus the Aventador, I mean, from a side profile, I mean, even the front, I mean, 9 out of 10 people who aren't supercar enthusiasts and would know by looking at it wouldn't even know the difference, other than the doors go up versus the doors going out and some basic stuff. So the Huracan to me is an iconic car. I love that they made it in a rear wheel drive version so you could play with it more. And I have no regrets of getting the Huracan. It's supercharged, it's insane. Just wait until you see the next level of mods that we're gonna do to it with Vorsteiner. We have a whole bunch of stuff in store. And the videos, I'm telling you guys, I was waiting for Snowball Rally to finish so I could take these winter tires off, put some summer tires on, and start slaying rubber. It's gonna be super epic. I can't wait. Some of the video productions that we wanna do and the storylines that go with them, I think are gonna be, they're gonna go down in history as some of the craziest supercar footage of this year. The other thing I wanted to chat about was Snowball Rally as a whole. It was a huge success. I basically won the weather lottery. I mean, Lake Tahoe had the most snow it had ever seen in a decade. We're talking 24 feet of snow. It was insane. I have footage driving up to the Ritz-Carlton in Lake Tahoe. I think I've got some of that footage. I'll edit it in so I can show you guys a visual, but it was insane. Had it snowed even remotely like it had been during the event, it would have been chaos. It would have been for any vehicle, all-wheel drive, any truck, anything of that nature with the best of best tires, it would have been impossible. I mean, they were shutting down freeways, all sorts of crazy stuff was going on. I'm so lucky that the event got the weather it did, and it ended up being a huge success. And thanks in part to all of my sponsors, such as GTCon, which is here, Speed Society, which was helping with the media stuff. Also, DuPont Registry was helping out with some media. We also had CMFR Canada, a parka company out of Eastern Canada that gave every participant a parka and a beanie to wear to keep everybody warm, which was incredible. People were raving about the coats. I also had Protective Film Solutions, Ryan Townsley, a great friend of mine from Southern California, who basically is the best in the game. I hate to be biased because he's my friend, but he really is. He's the best in the game for wraps as well as doing ceramic coatings with Ceramic Pro. And you know, all of those people helped put on Snowball Rally. So a huge thank you to all of my supporters as well as all of the first year participants for believing in me and trusting basically me with their lives and their cars in these really extreme conditions. But it went off without a hitch and we had an excellent time. Now on that rally, I had a bunch of good friends that I knew previously, and I made a bunch of new friends that I had never really spent a lot of time with before. And two of those people were Parker from Vehicle Virgins.
2 lanes, smooth, just carving through. I mean, just look at that, look at these rocks. Oh my God.
And James the Stradman.
Dude, I feel like this is how you vlog, like that.
So, yeah. Enjoy. Keep Damon out of trouble.
I will. Have a safe drive, dude. Thank you. Oh, what the? Who are you?
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Dave. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel soon called Dave.
I can't say enough about these guys. Super high in integrity, two great entrepreneurial spirited young men who have built successful YouTube channels from scratch. And I look forward to doing more collabs with these guys in the future. We were talking about doing like a grand tour episode of our own, kind of like a spin-off of Top Gear, where we all get a certain budget and we can go and buy a car in a certain time frame, and then we have to drive a crazy route and we film the whole thing. What do you guys think about that? Would you like to see some crazy grand tour episode with Parker from Vehicle Virgins, James Estradman, and myself? If so, leave some comments. What would be the route? Let's say the route had to be over 1,000 miles long. Give me an idea of where we would start and where we would end up. That would be kind of fun. And I look forward to doing more and more stuff with those two guys in the future. I also have some events coming up immediately that I'll be attending. Midnight Run to Vegas, which is hosted by the Gold Rush Rally Corporation. So my friend Ramin, and fuel runs typically run from Malibu out to Monterey for Monterey Car Week in the summer. They're now adding more routes and more rallies, these little 2-day rallies. And this one happens to go from Los Angeles to Las Vegas over the course of a day. And then we have a couple of nights there and we have some track events. So that's coming up February 24th. I'll be riding shotgun with my friend Ryan from Protective Film Solutions in his totally done up McLaren 12C with a Vorsteiner kit and wheels and everything. So I'll be able to film from the co-pilot seat, which is really handy because typically I'm driving and it makes it hard to really get all the footage that I want. But this time I should be able to get everything and really showcase the event for you guys, as well as some really epic supercar content. And then I also have GTCon. GTCon I know is a little ways out, but I really can't emphasize this enough, you guys. It's gonna be a crazy, oh, I'm hitting my drone here, I gotta move it. It's gonna be a crazy event. I mean, this is the first time in the history that we're basically gonna have an event that's not about the cars, that it's actually about the people who speak about cars. So all of the influencers from all over the world, from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, are gonna come together at the Anaheim Marriott in July 13th to the 15th. And the coolest thing is it's completely open to fans. So there's gonna be like 500 influencers coming to speak on panels and answer questions and mingle with fans. And then up to 4,000 tickets will be sold for fans. Now, that might sound like a lot, 4,000, but it's not. It's a tiny, tiny amount. When you think about like a basketball game or a hockey game that sells out all the time in these cities, we're talking about, I mean, those are like 15 to 20,000 person size arenas. We're only talking 4,000 people are gonna come to this. Now, the people who are gonna miss out on tickets are the people who are gonna really wish that they got the early bird discount registration. And I'm gonna put a link right here that I've got for my friend Chad for you guys to get a discount if you go and basically register now. That way you get a discount and you're secure. You've got your tickets to GTCon to come out, not only meet me and see the car, but you can come and meet all those other influencers such as Parker from Vehicle Virgins, James Estradman will be there. There's gonna be people coming from Europe. There's gonna be people traveling from all over the world to attend this and speak. There'll be all sorts of really high profile, even celebrity automotive influencers, some of them that are even on television now. So I highly recommend you go to this link and you just register now and get it out of the way and save your ticket to GTCon because it's gonna be absolutely nuts. So kind of last but not least, I wanted to talk about camera gear. I went over this in one of my other videos, I believe about a month and a half ago, and I've updated my camera gear several times. So I was shooting with the Sony a7S II. It was a great camera, although the autofocus was having issues and that was bothering not only me, but also the audience. So I went out and I did my research to find another camera. What I came up with is this. This is the Sony a6500, the body. Then I bought Carl Zeiss lens. This is the 16 to 35 mil. This is a great wide angle lens, but I can also zoom in nice and smooth with my hand. This is a great camera, however, it's large as you can see. It's quite bulky, and it's not always the easiest thing when mounted with my Joby, tripod, and then trying to shoot the car, and it's just really big and in your face, and then I had an external mic as well. I saw something that I really thought I was never gonna basically get into, which was a point and shoot camera, because I thought, you know what, I have enough money, I can afford something better than that. I'm never gonna, you know, look at those cameras. And I was completely sold on Snowball Rally when Parker from Vehicle Virgin showed up with this small little point and shoot camera on this tiny little selfie stick.
The circle.
Not outside the circle.
Yeah. And the cone cannot follow.
Only one shot at this or what?
Yeah.
And he had footage that was, in my opinion, just as good as my footage. And it was way more convenient, and it wasn't so loud and, you know, obvious that you were vlogging. So he had a Canon G7X, and I went and bought one, and that is exactly what I've been filming all of this on. In fact, I've already filmed 3 or 4 videos. My last 3 or 4 videos were all by this camera, the Canon G7X. It does an incredible job. It has a flip up screen, so I can look right now, like I can look up and see myself that I'm framed in the shot. That's really helpful at times, although it's a tad bit distracting. I am getting used to looking back at the lens, because if you do look up a little bit, or you tend to focus on looking at yourself on the screen, when you play the footage back, it is kind of obvious that you're looking up past the lens. So I apologize if I've done that in the last couple of videos. A few people have made comments about it, and I agree, I need to look back down at the camera once I've framed myself in the shot. But am I gonna get rid of the Sony? No, I'm not. The Sony shoots in 4K, the Canon G7X does not. It shoots in 1080, which is great for vlogging, but I'm also gonna shoot some really crazy car content where I wanna be able to use this, I wanna shoot in 4K. I can attach to the bottom of this my Pilot Fly H2 gimbal, and I can get those smooth, buttery shots of everything looking a lot more cinematic. And I mean, my other intent with Daily Driven Exotics is to eventually shoot like crazy car commercials for manufacturers. So taking that edgy kind of hooning driving style and creating a cool screenplay with that is selling or showing the value or the features of a product or a service for a company, and then making a car commercial. That's what we'd ultimately like to do for some people. So I need to take the steps to get into that higher level of production, and having a camera like that and some of the gimbal rig setup and my drone and all that helps to get all those different angles and those really nice cinematic shots. So I'm definitely gonna hang on to that gear. In the meantime, I will be vlogging with the Canon G7X. It's just way more convenient. So that's kind of it for this episode of Daily Driven Exotics, guys. I want to quickly flip back to the beginning of this video. The main purpose of making this video was to let you guys know I want to get you into the passenger seat of my car. I want to do some reaction videos. I want to get some of you in there with a GoPro and like just hoon the car and get your genuine first impression of you guys probably just having a blast, and hopefully no one throws up in the Huracan. If they do, whatever, I'll pay someone to clean it and detail it. But spinning it around, going through an obstacle course, and we'll set that all up and give you an announcement in both my video and for all the people who are subscribed with their email addresses at dailydrivenexotics.com. We send out a newsletter that lets those people know first and foremost where events will be, where the car and myself will be, and how you can get involved with Daily Driven Exotics and come and see either my car or see some of my friends' supercars. Because some of my friends' supercars are beyond nuts. I mean, I have friends with Koenigsegg's, Paganis, I mean, the rarest of the rare, LaFerraris, P1s, everything pretty much, other than, you know, maybe something super, I mean, I don't have any friends that have a, what's it called, a Lamborghini Veneo. But I'm working on it, you know, like maybe someone will come and, you know, buy one eventually. But in the meantime, let's get some of you into the passenger seat of the Huracan, and I will announce that very shortly. Thanks for watching this episode of Daily Driven Exotics. Please browse my channel and check out all the other crazy videos I've done in the past of stunting, as well as make sure you subscribe if you're not, because that's a great way of showing your support for me, because this is basically hard work that I put in to obviously produce these videos, and all I need in return is click the subscribe button. It shows a lot of appreciation. Again, stay tuned for some more shenanigans tomorrow.
There goes a sight from my soul.